Hi everyone, it's Beth here. This is a video that I want to make. But first, I just want to say that I'm going to be doing another reaction video tomorrow. And it's a video that my friend Katea brought up, and it's one of her soundtracks she made. I think it's the one from May 10th. And I'm going to be reacting to that tomorrow. I know that I was supposed to do it today, but Katea, I am sorry, but I am going to do it tomorrow, and I promise that I will. And what I want to talk about is when I started my YouTube channel, my first one, and when I still had depression, I was thinking some very forbidden, broken, intrusive thoughts that anybody would honestly think, like jumping out of a moving car, or getting run over by a truck, or harming yourself in any way possible, or just trying to run away from your home, your family and friends, and just escape what in your house is. Like, in your house, you have to run away from all the constant yelling, screaming, arguing, and all the violence that has been there for years. But if there's one thing that you want to take apart from this video, let it be this. Those intrusive thoughts do not define you. We're just very, very heavy thinking machines. Our brain generally just generates ideas so easily that we easily think it in our sleep, where we think these things when we're awake or not awake. And we just can't stop thinking. And we can't stop making ideas with those things and make it into something we don't want to do that we have to do. It may be hard to talk to somebody even when this problem is a common phenomenon. But whether or not we have intrusive thoughts, we may think these thoughts that pops into our head. It is okay to think them, but it isn't okay to do them. But it is okay to think them. And it is okay to talk to somebody, whether or not it is scary. Because it truly is. It truly is scary to talk to somebody about your true feelings that you really don't want to tell them. You just want to bottle them up inside of your heavy soul that really just wants to break in pieces and let it all out. The inside of your body is so tired and it's getting so weak that we can't keep bottling all of these real feelings up. Our body just wants to ball them all out by crying or screaming or being angry or just being upset. And believe me, I have those feelings too. It may be hard to talk to somebody or even blur it out if it'd be easier, but it is okay to talk to somebody. And sure that we may put others before ourselves, but we still have thoughts that also keeps us away, where we don't want to do that anymore. Sure, people may get tired of doing the same thing all over again. It's a constant struggle. Even intrusive thoughts, every time you think them, it's a constant struggle to think of these bad intrusive thoughts inside of your head. But it is alright. It is okay to think these things, whether or not we want to do them. It may be hard, sure, but it will get easier. Take Jeffrey Dahmer. He was pretty bothered as a child, but he outgrew those feelings. But there are some of us that still have a constant struggle of outgrowing them. We felt these feelings as a child, and as we got older, we still have them, and it's hard to let it go. Even the feeling of moving away to a home where you miss your friends and family who are closest to you. It's hard to let go of the past and think about what the future has hold for us. But whether or not the future can be scary, there are some good times we can still think about to pass the time. Sure, we are getting older and more mature, and we will soon be having, and some of us will soon be having a lover to be with who also feels the same feelings, and soon we will be married and having kids soon. But whether or not we have a future we always wanted, it is still very scary. Especially for me. Ever since that I was a child, and ever since I was 7 years old, I always thought of having my own life and having someone to love, being married to that person I love, having kids with that person that I love so much. But the thought of moving from the past and going to the future, it's still scary. It really is still scary. But sure, the future can be scary. We will still have good moments. We can still think to pass the time. We can always think of those good memories. And it's okay to think some intrusive thoughts. I know I said this a bunch of times, but it's okay to talk to somebody. And it's easy to feel like you've crossed some line. And I will say this. Those thoughts don't define who you are. It's okay to think these thoughts in your head. But those thoughts alone does not make you a bad person, especially an unwelcome thought. To echo the words of an American journalist, Paul Roberts, as once said, in the end, the most damaging, forbidden thought, the one we have been trained to block at every turn, may simply be that we are really okay. And that is something I was always wanting to learn. And I am trying. And sure, and all of us humans, we all have feelings, even feelings that we're bottling up inside. And it's scared to let it go. But those thoughts we think will not make us a bad person. It just means that it's okay to think them, but it's not okay to do those thoughts. 'Cause it's just gonna hurt us more and makes us feel even more depressed than ever. But alongside that, but enough of that. What I want to say is, you're not alone of feeling these intrusive thoughts. Every one of us in the entire world has these thoughts. Everybody has the same feelings you do. And it's a common phenomenon. We all are heavy thinkers. We're just very heavy thinking machines that we can't stop thinking about these ideas that comes into our head, our brain keeps popping new ideas that we just can't stop thinking. But with all of those thoughts that's popping into our head, our creativity may split into two parts, where one creativity is all about Netflix kids and family, Disney films, very, very kid stuff that are so amazing. Well, there's another part of our creativity that are just so very forbidden and maybe disgusting, gross, unsettling, and very, very, very scary. We have two sides of our body where we are good and where we're bad. But there's no good or bad in this world. This world is normal. None of us are perfect, and that's okay. We may be not perfect, but we're still human beings. And it's okay to think these thoughts every time it pops into your head. And there's a side of us that wishes that can stop these intrusive thoughts. But if our other side tries to stop those intrusive thoughts, it's only going to hurt our real side more, where it's going to hurt our real selves. So we just have to say to ourselves, let these intrusive thoughts flow into your mind. And whether or not they flow into your mind, you don't have to do them in real life, but it is okay to think them. Even for me, I think intrusive thoughts every single day. But that doesn't make me a bad person, and it doesn't keep me away from all the activities I am doing. And it doesn't have to do the same for you too. So you're not alone, guys. Each and every one of us has a psychology in ourselves that we wish we can tell to the world, like yell it out of the blue, where we can have everyone listen to us. We wish that we can just be in a public place and just say what we really want to feel. And we can sometimes hope that those people will believe us. And it may be scary to do, but we still have to do it. But it is all right. We don't have to yell it out to the world, because there are many people who have the same thoughts. And if we talk to professionals, they will say the same thing. I have a counselor who gave me so much encouragement to go on for my life, whether or not these intrusive thoughts will mess with my brain. Even if those intrusive thoughts may mess with my brain, I will still have to move forward and have those thoughts keep bottling up in my mind. But that can't stop me from being the person I am. It doesn't make me a bad person to think these thoughts, because everybody thinks them all the time. Even my friends have the same kind of thinks, that thinks the same way, because of every trauma we've been through. all the trauma we've had, everything that we have been through, and everything that we're watching, it will cause us to think some certain thing that will keep going throughout our lives. And it's a constant struggle of thinking. But don't worry, guys. That kind of thinking and those kinds of thoughts will not make you a bad person. It just means that we're okay and we're normal. We're normal human beings with real feelings. And we're not that perfect. Whether or not we make a video that we want to be perfect, it may not be perfect in the end. But people still like our videos, whether or not they're not perfect. We may think that our videos, like mine or anybody else's, are not perfect. But other people, they still love our videos and they still subscribe and give us views and comments. And that's what makes it special. Because whether or not we want to make a video so perfect that doesn't come out perfect in the end, we still make people laugh, cry, happy, sad, feeling joy, and crying tears of joy. We still make people happy. And that is what we should keep doing. I have been talking for so long, and it's probably early in the morning, but I just want to say that. So don't worry, guys. You're not alone. And don't worry about the future. We still have time to grow, and we still have time to learn about new things. So don't worry about the future. It will come to us someday. We don't have to think it now. Let's just be free with our lives and have fun at our young age while we still can, and still make good memories while we still have the time left. Our time is not running out. There's no time limit. This world is not a time-ticking bomb. We just think that way for a reason because we're scared of the future. And that is why we think that this world is a ticking time bomb where we will someday think about the future and how it's going to be. But we don't have to think about the future at our young age right now. Let's just have fun with our lives, make good memories, have time with our friends and family, even our loved ones who we love and met from a past year. And just be true to yourself. Just be yourself and hope that person that you meet will do the same thing. You don't have to try to impress people just to make a good impression, because they will understand your real feelings if you just let your feelings come out. You don't have to impress the person that you have a crush on, because it's okay to be ourselves. It's okay to sometimes be goofy, silly, childish, funny, happy, sad, or alone, because that person has the same feelings, whether or not they want to feel them. But it's okay. So don't worry, everyone. I am just happy that whether or not my videos are not that perfect, you guys still love them, and I am happy to have you along this journey. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this will give you some time to think over and process everything that you have been through, and take all of my words for good advice. I may be not a professional, but I understand that the real world is scary. There's no good or bad people. There are just people out there who have intrusive thoughts and they want to do those intrusive thoughts. And there are some people that want to stop those people, but there's no way of stopping them. You cannot force another person to not do those intrusive thoughts. They just do them anyway. And forcing them will only make them do those intrusive thoughts even worse. So we just have to let whatever things happen. Sometimes I stand by and judge people instead, and I sometimes have a hard time trusting people. But that doesn't make me a bad person. It just makes me normal, and it makes me for being who I am. And people who I have met throughout the years have come to understand of who I really am. And they became friends with me, whether or not I have these kinds of thinking or have these kinds of thoughts traveling through my mind. But I am being true to myself, and I am being truly honest through my heart. I love you guys. I hope that this will give you some time to process. So don't worry, guys. If we just be true to ourselves and make friends in our own way, we can make every dream happen if we just be who ourselves even more. We don't always have to have a good ending. We just want an ending that can be happy for us. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in my reaction video tomorrow.